Namaste everyone. Welcome to Hindu Center of Atlanta's special series on Chaitra Navratra. Chaitra Navratra is also called Vasantiya Navratra. Acharya Brahmadevji has joined us from Mauritius. Acharya will help us to understand the real meaning of Ramnavmi by taking the examples from the life of Maryada Purushottam Bhagwan Sri Ramchandraji. Acharya will be concentrating his talk today on the exile period of Bhagwan Sri Ramchandraji. Acharya Brahmadevji has an inclusive educational background in science, banking from University of Mauritius, management, ABE, UK, and Darshanacharya Vedic philosophy, Darshan Yoga Mahavidyalaya, Gujarat, and a diverse career in financial services, industry, and at RS Sabha Mauritius. He has been a key resource person for RS Sabha Mauritius on the universal Vedic values, yoga and meditation, and on interfaith and intercultural dialogue at various national and international forums. The Mauritius Council of Religions, Arya Prathinidhi Sabha America, Greater Atlanta Vedic Temple, and Hindu Center of Atlanta Yoga and Meditation Center. He is author of numerous insightful articles on Vedic philosophy and contemporary issues in English and French. Over to Acharya.
Namaste, everybody. Let's bring our mind to focus. Sit down straight, close the eyes gently. Deep inhale and exhale. And while exhaling, we are going to chant Om, the universal sound. And while doing the chanting, observe the vibrations moving through our body. And one time, Gayatri Mantra. Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. Om. Join the palms together, wrap them gently, and open the eyes below the palms, transferring the energy, facial muscles. The exiled period, Banvas, is the climax, leads to the climax of the Ramayana. And a brief study of the exile period leads us to be more alert in life. One, the Dandak forest is known as Nirjan forest. There were no humans living there. And it was known to be very, as we say, infested with wild animals, and many of them were vultures or killer animals. So to survive in that forest, we need a very high level of awareness. And if we look into some of the events there, the single moment of inattention of Sri Ram, when Sita was insisting of getting the golden deer, which was a Rakshas in disguise, Ram was more listening to Sita rather than paying attention that a golden deer is only a treachery. It's a disguise that doesn't exist. It's a disguise, and we have to read the real interpretation. So some mindfulness there would have avoided that episode. So it shows to us in life, whenever we are faced, especially with a doubtful situation, let's give a pause and analyze the real situation. That goes in line with the philosophy of yoga and so many words today: awareness, mindfulness, etc. And that would lead us to avoid the pitfalls. Then on the path of going to the forest for exile, Bharat comes to bring back Ram to Ayodhya. Before that, Bharat disowns Kaikeyi in the same manner as a surgeon operates a patient to cure him. And the pain that Kaikeyi intentionally or with disregard inflicted on the Ram, Sita, and Lakshman was returned back by Bharat to her. And during that exile period, Bharat rules in a selfless manner, just as a caretaker. And then the greatness of Sri Ram and Lakshman is tested by the ability to tolerate provoking situations. The first one is Surpanakha, disguised as a charming lady. But when Lakshman declined and pushed her away, that facade which she had put just dropped down. As we say, she was unmasked, and the real demon form manifested. And there she met her match and was offended, and that she goes back to Ravan, and Ravan gets more angry with that event. Then we learn about bonding and friendship. The bonding between Sri Ram and Hanuman, which is world famous. The bonding and friendship between Sri Ram and Sugriv. We learned also that deceit never pays. As long as the objectives remain beyond reach. Ravan had only greed and lust, and we all know that greed and lust have no limits. The body is going to get worn out, as there's one shlok which says, Bhoga anabhukta vayameva bhoga. And then the body is going to wear out. The body is not something which is going to last forever. So nurturing these evil or negative tendencies will ultimately lead to the humiliating downfall which Ravan endured. Then we see inordinate attachment, as we say, more. The first is Sita fondness on the golden deer. Then the fondness of Vibhi of Kumkaran in favor of Ravan, which despite he knows, and he warned Ravan that Ram was a peerless warrior. That is a warrior to the level that there was no match to him. And going on the same lines, there was Meghnad, which followed Ravan blindly in that. So more inordinate attachment leads to suffering. And these were attachment to somebody, but attachment also to material things are going to lead us to miseries. A reasonable level of attachment leads us to protect life, to protect our kith and kin, to protect society. But being indulging in that is going to lead to the reverse. It's as if we are driving on reverse gear without the reverse mirror. And that leads to illusion, Maya. Maya always takes its toll, but if we are aware of where it leads, where illusion leads, we can always convert, use our strength to overcome our weaknesses, and capitalize on opportunities and mitigate the threats in life. And this is what Sri Ram and the Vanar Sena do before going into the war. And then illusion is best described by when Lakshman was insisting to Sita that the apparent cry of Ram for help was only an illusion played by the Rakshasas. But she insisted. She didn't want to listen to reason. And that brings also to her fate. Then we see what is right wins over might, and the sacrifice that needs. And that sacrifice is symbolized by Jatayu. His integrity cost him his life. But then Jatayu shows to us it's better to lose and win rather than win and lose. We may lose in the first instance, but at the final goal will be the winner, rather than winning the first 2 free steps and then lose the big picture. So that is showed to us by Jatayu. Then we learn about peace, perseverance, serenity, tranquility, calmness. By Ram enduring all those difficulties, Sugriv also was enduring all those, but then when they did the partnership, that was a strategic alliance, and that strategic alliance based on righteous objectives was a winning alliance. It shows to us also in today's corporate world, or in the political world, there are so many alliances which are done and undone. But those who are winning are those who keep to the right goals. Otherwise, we may see temporary flourishing of the purpose of what is being done. But at the end of the day, when the veil is lifted, it leads to the downfall. Then, if we look at one of the key ammunitions, it's the bow and the arrow. The unwavering mind is the arrow's sheath, the pack where the arrows are kept. It never moves from the shoulders. What moves is the bow and the arrow. But we have proper control on the bow and the arrow with a mind fix. This symbolizes keeping our mind, though unwavering. The mind is known to be wavering. We keep it fixed, just like we fix the bow and the arrow while targeting something. If we fix our mind on righteousness, on ethics, on dharma, as per Manusmriti or Yam Niyam as per Yoga philosophy, will always be the winner. And going down the line also on this, there are so many things to learn, not only from Ram, but from Ravan also. Lanka was ruled righteously till Ravan came into the game. He chased Kuber, but then he lost his own self-control, as we say in the Ramcharitramanas by Tulsidas, Vinash Kale Viparit Buddhi. But look at the greatness of Ravan. He respected Sita. Even he had abducted Sita, but Sita didn't fell prey to his riches, nor to his lust. So he didn't lay hands on Sita. At least he respected that. And Ravan is symbolical that knowledge not applied in daily life serves no purpose. Then some of the things that Ravan does. Never chase your close ones, never turn them to enemies. Ravan needed to sharpen his listening skills. The war wouldn't have been there. Ravan thought of all the tapasya he had done would render him invincible, but everything born is going to die. Then Ravan also, the life and events in the life of Ravan tells us never underestimate others. He underestimated Ram, Lakshman, and Devanarasena. Then the personality of Ravan: anger, greed, lust, attachment. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh. These are the greatest Rakshasas in our life. Then the next issue is a leader needs to prioritize on common good, even if that implies relegating his or her own personal interest, or even if that is detrimental to the self. But at the end of the day, when the common good increases, then personal good will also increase. It's just as we know in economics, in modern days, especially Keynesian economics, it says, you make the cake bigger, you will have a larger portion. So increasing the common good will also increase our own personal good. Then truthful well-wishers who are critical in when the situation requires needs to be listened to. There's no need for people, as we say in modern management, those who butter the boss. That serves no purpose because we don't get the real picture. Then Ravan's life also teaches us about karma phal. We'll reap as we sow. That is, the real fate which is inescapable. And Ravan knows that. He's reminded of that by Kumkaran, by Vibhishan, but he doesn't listen. Then that exile period teaches us we need to act fast in good actions. Shubh karya mein der nahi karna chahiye. And whenever there's risk of our involvement in negative karma, if we can't avoid, just keep postponing till that period is over and the karma doesn't serve the purpose, then we don't have to do it. I say procrastination on negative karma. But Shubh Karya mein der nahi karna chahiye, and this is what the Vanar Sena do to cross to Lanka. That episode tells us that. Then listen to the inner voice, the divine guidance. Ravan never went against his own conscience. Antaratma ki awaaz. He would not have grown to be infamous. Then be steadfast on values, committed, dedicated to the values of human life. So we say the Ramayana is such a beautiful historical epic. I would say historical epic because epic tends to remind us of it may be fiction. No, it's historical. Ram's life is full of righteous deeds. Even the worst of persons, they have things that are good which they do or they can teach. That's why when Ravan falls under the bow of Sri Ram, Ram sends Lakshman to get the good things out of Ravan. So that shows us the real aspect of human life. We can learn from anywhere and any point in time. So let's always be on the learning curve. And Ramnavmi is not something just to sit down to celebrate, but it's a time to engage on the learning curve, learn the good things, and we'll grow on that and also avoid the pitfalls, and we'll save ourselves. Tomorrow we'll do the concluding part of it, and we just hope these sessions have been fruitful in one way or the other. As I said it yesterday, if we take one line in 1 week or one line in a month, at the end of 1 year, till next Ramnavmi, we'll be getting 52 lines or 12 lines on which we've acted in our life. And at the next Ramnavmi, when we'll stand up and look at where we are standing today, will be probably 52 times or at least 12 times a much better person than where we stand today. And remember, for queries, questions, or Shanka Samadhan, clearing of doubts, please write to us on Facebook Messenger. Hindu Center of Atlanta is the Facebook page. Or you may also please send us by email, hinducenterofatlanta@gmail.com. And to review our past programs and the past sessions on Ramnavmi, open YouTube channel, Hindu Center of Atlanta. Thank you.
Thank you, Acharji. You very well explained that we can learn from the Ram also, and we can learn something from Ravan also, and we can learn from all the different other characters of the Ramayana also. So if we try to improve ourselves, we should always take the good part of any person. Thank you, Acharji. We will see you again tomorrow evening for the last and concluding session of a special series on Ramnavmi. Uh, See you then. We will do the Om Jap at last.
Yeah. Sit down straight. One deep inhale. Om. Namaste.